I'm Stephanie Lynn, and this is my son Caleb, and we have some amazingly good news. On the last video, we were talking about we found a tent. We didn't know if the guy may be alive or not. We didn't want to go in the tent. We didn't want to mess with him. We left him a bag with blankets, and with a blanket, socks, gloves. We went back the next day, like I said that we would, because we were concerned. And a couple that met up with us, and I'll explain about them in a minute, the four of us went, and we went to go check up on the tent, and even they thought that it looked like there was a guy in the tent, and nothing had been moved. We were really worried. We checked in. We finally had to just be brave enough for whatever we may find, and we kind of had to pick a few things up and see who or what was in there, and it turned out it was clothing supplies inside of a blanket that honestly did look like a guy laying underneath the blanket trying to stay warm. So, no guy, nobody's dead. That was great. Huge sigh of relief. That's not something that I really want to find. So, great. So that's some really good news. Whoever had that tent must have moved on. They left clothes and supplies there, so I don't know if it was just for the cold days that he's moved on and maybe back. I don't know what the story is there. But nobody was found. So that's the good news. The next tent that was close by, we checked on that one. We thought there was someone inside. The blanket, the gloves, and the socks that we left for that person that may be living there was gone. So we assumed this person did find their things, and we left them another blanket and some sweatshirts, socks, gloves, even a book bag, just in case he might need something to help keep stuff dry in. And we left that for him. And then today, Kyle and Stephanie, the couple that met up with us yesterday, they went to recheck on him, and everything was still there. Nothing's been touched. And so now they had to look further and let them know, hey, we just want to make sure you're okay, so we're going to take a look. We're just going to take a look. And you have to do that sometimes, because if someone's not okay, if they're really hurt, we need to know. And that gives them fair warning to say something. Nobody was in there. Nobody's been in there at least for a few days. So that leads me to believe the other day when me and Caleb were out there, maybe someone was wondering why we were poking around. Maybe they went to go see after we left, and they took the blanket and the socks and the gloves that were meant for a homeless person, obviously. So I was kind of mad about that, because I don't understand why anybody would take something that obviously is meant for a homeless person that has nothing. Why would they do that? So I really hope that whoever took that honestly needed it, because we do check back, and if it turned out it wasn't needed, we can take it back and give it to someone else who is homeless and could use it. So if anybody sees us poking around, if anybody sees us leaving items someplace, please leave it there. It's there for a reason. It's there for someone who really needs it. And we will be back the next day to see if the items are still there. Whoever took these items made us feel that someone was actually still there and needed more. And that kept us coming back to the same spot instead of taking that time to search for another area where we could find somebody who needed it. So it's a little bit of a disservice in that way too. But, you know, Whoever was there, I think they may have just found some place for the cold days, but I'm just happy that they're probably okay. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Kyle and Stephanie, two of probably one of the greatest couples I think I've met in a very long time. They've been doing this for years in Salina, going around helping people, helping homeless people, giving them the things they need. They spend their Thanksgiving days taking food out that they have cooked to help feed people. There's not a lot of people willing to give up their holidays for that. So I think it's amazing. As we were walking around with him, and I have to say, just real quick, I have to say at first, it was really hard for me to give him any information on the people we felt that we found and any hiding spots that we had found. He got a hold of us over Facebook, and because the night before we had been attacked so badly for doing this and for making the first video to try and get more help, because of that, it was really hard for me to give out anything. I didn't know if this was someone that was just going to call on them and cause problems, who was going to go harass them, and I wanted the help, but I was scared. And when we did finally meet them, it's like I just knew. Some people you just know. You know as soon as you see them, these people are for real. They don't mean any harm. They really are out to help. And I'm just so happy that they found my first video, which is what helped them know that this is what we're doing. So they were with us. We'll get back to that. Lost train of thought for a second. They were with us. We were with them, going around trying to help find people yesterday. And they were telling us these stories of other winters they've gone through for people, helping people, and the things that people have gone through, because Salina, as much as we have a really good community that's willing to join hands with us and help them, we also have a large amount of people that are basically bratty snots, that when they see someone homeless, they don't have any intentions on helping that person. They just want to call the police. The authorities here don't have any intentions on helping them. They just want to run them out. Now, that doesn't mean that every officer or any other authority, that none of them feel for them or want to help. That's just the basic overall that we get. That's what we see. If you are an authority in Salina and you do care, please say something. We want to hear from you. We want to know that somebody else cares. We would love to hear from you. So write that down in the messages, and we'll get that. Also, you know, he was telling me stories of how they've been flushed out of areas. Some of the spots that they have seen. He's told me some of the areas, how hard it is that, you know, officers sit there and look for them. A lot of their hiding spots that's been found out, they look there, even if it's an area that nobody would ever see them. Nobody sees them there. They're not hurting anybody. You know, they're just trying to get a little bit of shelter because they're exposed to the outdoors, and they're being ran out of there. So this is the environment we live in here, and the attempt of keeping it secret that we have homeless. And there are actually people in Salina that don't know that we have homeless. I have spoken to people who were shocked when they found out. So they've done a pretty fair amount being able to hide it. But I'm not okay with hiding it. They need help, and they need people who care, because not helping and running them out of what little bit of something, hiding spot that they have found, doesn't help them. You know, it just causes them to go somewhere else that you got to flush them out again. And why? It's better to help them than it is to just tear them apart and force them to be in the weather somewhere. Just because you flush them out doesn't mean they're going to be like, oh, I need to go rent a place. Look, here's some money that's magically showed up in my pocket. I think I'll go get a place. It just doesn't work like that. I know people think, there are people out there that think that it works like that, but it doesn't. But anyway, finding Kyle and Stephanie has been great. We have a Facebook page. It's, right now, we're calling it Finding Homeless. I think we're changing it to, what are we changing it to? Fighting Homeless. And so look us up, you know. We're also going to make a second page, and we're going to give everybody who's on that page now a chance to vote which page they like best, and whichever has the biggest amount of votes, that's what we're going to go with, because this involves everybody. This isn't just us and everybody else gets to watch. That's not what it's about. This involves everybody in the community, and everybody gets to have a chance to say, this is how I'd like to do it. This is how I'd like to be involved. And this is how I'd like us to be presented. And I think that's great. Some of the things we need right now, I know for us, with everything that we've given out, we have one blanket left. I was able to pick up a coat today. I know someone else said that they, on our page, said that they have some things to donate. So either Kyle and Stephanie may have picked that up, or it maybe have been delivered. If not, then we'll go pick that up. We're getting low on socks. Socks is a huge thing. Everybody needs socks. Socks get wet. They go through socks really fast.
Gloves.
So right now, so we definitely need socks. Yeah, gloves. We're out of, I think we have one pair of pink gloves left. Because the rest have been given out. We have been given a roll of foam. It's like a foam that you put under rugs. That's working out perfect. We've already been able to cut some of it off and hand it to somebody to sleep on for insulation. It's great. Anything you can donate is great. Tarps, plastic, like plastic sheets that people can use like a tarp. We've been donated a tent. That's been given out. So pretty much anything you can donate, we can really use. And we are going to be able to have an account up so that if anybody wants to donate some money, that we can go to the DAV where we can get everything the cheapest and spread it out. We can get more blankets or whatever. If you don't have items to donate, that would be a way. We don't have it yet, but I'm working on it. So stick with us, and we will get that information out to you, because it's just vital. It's vital. And right now it's cold, but January and February in Kansas are always the harshest months. That's always our worst. So we've got to get these people the things that they need. Kyle and Stephanie are mostly in charge of keeping the pages up on Facebook. They're really good at that. I'm kind of not. It's hard for me to keep up with that all the time. So I'm so happy that they'll be a part of that. I'm an admin, and we may be adding a couple others as well, so that if somebody can't get on the internet for a couple days, whatever, there is always somebody there. You are important. Everything you give, everything you donate, we can't do that without you. You are an amazing group of people who are helping us get this done, and I just think you're amazing. Someone donated a small amount of money the other day. We bought some socks and put the change away. Today there was somebody who, her and her sister really needed to be back in their hotel room. They'd lost their hotel room, and I took the remaining of that money, added to it a little bit of what I had, and I don't have very much, took that out there, and she must have gotten into her room because I couldn't find her. But I just want you to know, no matter how small, it means something to somebody, whoever gets that. It really does, and it does make a difference. And I am keeping that aside for those reasons. And when we do have an account, it will be put in that account. Further, I will be doing the videos pretty much to keep, even when I may be having a hard time getting out, I will still be getting in news as to what's going on. So far, Kyle and Steph are great about getting back with me and saying this is what's going on, and we're having really good communication skills back and forth, which is amazing because not everybody has that. So, and it's vital to having a group together that's willing to stay in touch and do what's needed, because this isn't something you can plan for. Anything can happen at any time, and you don't know what it's going to be, and you want to try to be there. So we will be doing that, and I'll be keeping you updated with the videos, what we're doing, what's needed next, and how everything is going with that. And so that's pretty much it, other than the fact that, like I said earlier, not all the people, but some of the people that I so highly spoke about in the first video greatly attacked me for making that first video. I was really upset about that at first. So what do you think? You know, I just want to know what you all think out there about the fact that we're going to keep making videos and let people know what we need, and reaching out to anybody out there and just saying this is what we need, and if you can help, help. And it's great. So am I bad for this? Am I not bad for this? Put it down in the comments. We'll read it and we'll see what you think. Alright, thanks for watching.